Good evening. Welcome to Channel 2 Action News at 6. I'm Linda Stouffer.
Hi there. I'm Justin Farmer, and this new video is chilling, isn't it? A Channel 2 Action News investigation. We first told you about the attack on a local veteran inside a VA clinic in April. And today, Channel 2 investigative reporter Justin Gray showed the victim the surveillance video of the moment he was assaulted. Justin Philip Webb says that does not remember getting choked and punched and kicked, and Justin is with us live today in studio.
Yeah, Justin, we had to file a Freedom of Information Act request and wait more than a month and a half to get this DVD, this surveillance video that you see here. It is hard to watch. You can see a VA patient advocate viciously hits, chokes, and kicks an elderly veteran.
And so you've never seen this, right?
No.
You've been waiting to see it.
Yes.
I brought 73-year-old Vietnam veteran Philip Webb the surveillance video of this brutal attack. That's Webb in the video being beaten by an Atlanta VA employee.
I don't remember none of this.
We obtained this surveillance video through a federal Freedom of Information Act request. Channel 2 Investigates was the first to report on this April attack at the Fort McPherson VA clinic. This man, Lawrence Gillard, is a patient advocate at the VA. He's the blurred out face here in this video.
He was supposed to be helping me.
Watch for yourself what happened. Webb knocks on the door in the waiting room to let Gillard know he's going to the restroom. He was waiting to discuss scheduling hernia surgery.
I guess he got upset because I hit on his door.
When Gillard does come out, there's a brief argument. Gillard puts his finger up to Webb's face, and when Webb tries to push it away, Gillard charges, shoving him up against the wall, choking him with both hands around his neck, then body slamming the elderly veteran to the ground, where he stomps on his head, then kicks him in the head a second time.
He's beating you.
He was. He Mike Tyson me, didn't he?
VA police arrested Gillard, then turned him over to U.S. Marshals. Webb was hospitalized for 3 days with a brain bleed.
I'm just stunned. I don't know what to say, you know.
The Atlanta VA says in a statement, "We are horrified at the video of an Atlanta VA employee assaulting a veteran. This disturbing behavior is contrary to our core values of treating veterans with the dignity and respect they deserve. We take this matter seriously and will cooperate fully with Fulton County law enforcement."
What's wrong with it?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah, what is wrong with them, you know?
The latest information the Atlanta VA has provided us on Gillard is that he is still employed there.
Does somebody who acts that way, should they be working with veterans?
No. And for them to let him come back to work, you know, that's dangerous.
And we do have new information about the criminal case against that VA employee, Lawrence Gillard. He was initially charged in federal court, but in the past few days, the U.S. Attorney's Office dropped charges because of jurisdictional issues and turned it over to the Fulton County District Attorney, Fani Willis. Her office is now leading this investigation and the eventual prosecution, Justin.
Justin, I know you will keep us updated. Channel 2 investigative reporter Justin Gray's uncovered several major issues involving the Atlanta VA. Let's give you more details. Earlier this year, we were the first to report on a VA supervisor caught bragging on social media about taking bubble baths while working. Also this year, multiple veterans reached to report on concerns that the vision care that they received. And one veteran said that the Atlanta VA left stitches in her eye for 5 years. Last year, we showed you images of piles of mail sitting at the Atlanta VA. All undelivered letters can delay or even prevent veterans from getting treatment. Now new at 6. An elderly veteran says that he was attacked and beaten at an Atlanta VA clinic. The attacker was a Department of Veterans Affairs employee. The victim spent 3 days in the hospital because of a head injury. The VA is refusing to provide information about that attack. Channel 2 investigative reporter Justin Gray spoke exclusively to the victim. Justin with us live from Fort McPherson in southwest Atlanta.
Well, Justin, we know from our sources within the VA that this brutal attack was all captured on surveillance video here inside the VA clinic at Fort McPherson. The attacker worked in the advocacy department, and that means his job was to work with and on behalf of veterans. Now, we have been trying to get basic information out of the VA for the past 5 days. They refused to provide any information on the attacker, on the incident, anything about this important public safety issue.
He said, "Man, I'll go upside your head." And I told him, I said, "No, you won't." That's all I remember.
When 73-year-old Vietnam veteran Philip Webb came to, police and paramedics were there after he was allegedly knocked in the head, assaulted by a staff member at the Fort McPherson VA clinic last Thursday.
I was trying to figure out why did he hit me? I'm still thinking about why did he hit me, you know?
This message is for Mr. Philip Webb.
Webb was rushed by ambulance to Atlanta Medical Center, where he remained hospitalized for 3 days because of fears of a brain bleed. You can see his eye remains bloody. He'd come to the advocacy office at the VA clinic at Fort McPherson to get a consult for his hernia. That's the office that's supposed to help veterans navigate the bureaucracy. Webb tells me he knocked on an office door to tell the VA employee he was going to the restroom, and that's when the man charged at him.
All this happened in a short time, right? I didn't even get a chance to tell him that I was going to go to the bathroom. He come out angry.
It was Department of Veterans Affairs police who responded. For 5 days now, Channel 2 Action News has repeatedly asked for an incident or police report about the attack. VA refuses to provide it. Sources tell us an arrest was made, but the VA refuses to confirm that or to share any information about the employee. Webb says VA police told him they made an arrest after watching the surveillance video of the attack.
He just told me he's going to jail. That's what he said.
All the VA will tell us is, quote, the Atlanta VA healthcare system takes these accusations very seriously and has zero tolerance for any behavior contrary to our core values. Our leadership team is fully cooperating with law enforcement. Because these allegations are still under review and investigation, we cannot comment further on this matter.
He could have killed me because he hit me up close to my temple, right? I just can't. I know it's hard for you to understand what happened. Don't you think? I don't know either. You know what I'm talking about? I know you trying to figure it out. I can't figure it out myself.
And again, back here live, VA officials refusing to tell us any information about potential charges, whether or not an arrest has been made. They say we have to wait for a Freedom of Information Act request. Well, those take a minimum of several weeks. Most take months, even years. Now, of course, federal law enforcement agencies cannot go around secretly arresting people. That's why we now have our attorney involved to try to dig and find this information for you. Reporting live at Fort McPherson, Justin Gray, Channel 2 Action News.
A Channel 2 investigation found thousands of pieces of mail moved to a basement at the Atlanta VA Medical Center, and the mail's been there for months.
A joint Atlanta Journal-Constitution, Channel 2 Action News investigation uncovered this problem. Channel 2 investigative reporter Justin Gray with us now, live at the Atlanta VA in DeKalb County. Justin, employees spotted the mail and said something to us and the VA leaders.
Yeah, Justin, we're talking about unopened mail stacked 10 feet high that's been there for months. Postmarks, that's what the postmarks say. And veterans who saw the mail tell us that the codes on there also relate to critical veteran care, things like medical records waiting to be scanned into the system. Look at all that mail, 10 pallets worth, stacked up for months at the Atlanta VA.
I was walking in the basement part and saw all this mail.
These photos taken by VA employees were first obtained by our partners at the AJC. This whistleblower we talked to, a VA employee and disabled veteran, says from the postmarks, some of this unopened mail, including patient medical records and veterans checks, has been in that basement at the logistics department of the Atlanta VA Medical Center for more than a year.
This was pallets upon pallets, just staged in a row, just sitting in the basement, just sitting there. Nobody touched it.
The Atlanta VA confirms to us it happened and says it has now moved 6 of the 10 pallets for processing. In July, Channel 2 Action News told you about veterans not being able to get through on the phone to the Atlanta VA because of glitches with the new phone system. Fulton County Marine veteran Robert Mullins had that issue himself and tells me he's disappointed but not surprised about all that unopened mail.
We have a saying. It says, delay, deny, and hope that you die.
The VA says mail processing responsibilities were recently shifted to local hospitals from a central facility, telling us in a statement, quote, we are working diligently to process the 4 remaining pallets of mail as quickly as possible. We're also hiring additional staff to ensure the medical center's mailroom functions efficiently. But Pete Sepp from the National Taxpayers Union says this is more than just a case of a slow mailroom.
These are not just pieces of paper with postage on them. These are people's lives. Every piece of mail represents a person.
And that VA employee who tipped us off to the mail, well, she's also been waiting for medical records from VA. She first requested back in March 2020.
That could be my own records there. And I work for the VA. This is very disappointing to me as a veteran, very disappointing, because it tells me that the director on down to everybody involved in this whole situation that they don't give a damn.
And within the last hour, the VA updated me that they believe much of these are documentation of services from providers that they also receive electronically. VA tells us that no one's been disciplined here, but they are both hiring new mailroom employees and retraining their current employees to make sure this doesn't happen again. Reporting live at the Atlanta VA in DeKalb County, Justin Gray, Channel 2 Action News.
It's just, you know, it's another kind of thing in a pattern, so that's what just gets troubling. Justin.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Linda Stouffer.
I'm Justin Farmer, and we begin with an exclusive Channel 2 Action News investigation. Veterans waiting for care. An Atlanta area veteran is dead from cancer after going 7 months without any cancer testing or treatment. That's even though an earlier screening signaled that he likely had colon cancer. A former top VA official told us it was a failure at every level of the Atlanta VA. Only Channel 2 investigative reporter Justin Gray obtained the internal documents of the patient's death. Justin with us live at the Atlanta VA Medical Center in DeKalb.
Well, Justin, it wasn't until that veteran came here to the ER with abdominal pains that a CT scan revealed cancer that had metastasized to the colon, the liver, and the pancreas. But that was 7 months after an initial screening indicated potential cancer. A colonoscopy was the next step, but that was never performed. That veteran, he passed away just a little over a week ago. I was shown an internal Atlanta VA document by a source that shows the Atlanta area veteran had a positive colon cancer screening test on November 8th of 2020, and a colonoscopy was first ordered. It was more than 50 days later. He was told 2 suggested community care providers were not accepting VA patients for colonoscopies. Then it was 6 months later, still no colonoscopy. The veteran came in with abdominal pain, and the cancer was finally diagnosed, found in the colon, the liver, and the pancreas. That veteran died October 31st.
You think that they would have enough sense to take care of us, but they're trying, but they're not doing a good job.
Douglas County Vietnam veteran James Lovins was just diagnosed himself with lung cancer by a doctor outside the VA system last week and is having his own challenges scheduling timely treatment through VA.
Well, it's sad. It makes me mad.
The VA Community Care Program is designed to provide veterans treatment by private doctors to ease strain on the VA system. It's required by law, the VA Mission Act. But data Channel 2 Action News has obtained from internal VA records shows that as of November 2nd, there is a current backlog of more than 17,000 Atlanta veterans who have applied for community care who are still waiting on appointments, some waiting as long as 6 months.
They've not been following the procedures that I helped develop.
I spoke today to Darian Selnick, a senior advisor to the previous 2 VA secretaries. Selnick directed implementation of the Mission Act. He calls the death of that Atlanta veteran a complete failure by the Atlanta VA.
Their systems are failing, their management is failing, and their staff is failing. A whole cascade of failures.
Just in the past few months, in a series of Channel 2 Action News investigations, we told you about mail stacked up 10 feet high, unopened and unprocessed at the Atlanta VA for months, and a troubled new phone system where for months veterans could not get through to schedule care. Now the Atlanta VA tells us in a statement about that October death, quote, "We send our deepest condolences to the veteran's family for their loss. Based upon our initial review, every effort was made to appropriately coordinate the veteran's care in accordance to VA policy. We respect the family's privacy during this difficult time and cannot provide additional details regarding the veteran's health care."
It's terrible. When you ask any Vietnam veteran, they'll tell you that the VA waits for you to die. Simple as that.
VA claims tonight that every effort was taken to handle that case right, but I did also obtain slides from a presentation the Atlanta VA director gave here to staff just last week. In it, there was a slide entitled, what keeps you up at night. The director presented employees cases of what keeps them up at night. One she highlighted, a delay in community care scheduling. Now, we also saw records of another veteran with a very similar story who passed away in September. We'll continue to stay on this, continue to follow it. We're live at the Atlanta VA Medical Center in DeKalb County. Justin Gray, Channel 2 Action News.
I mean, I think we could all agree that our veterans must get better care, Justin. Now to our continuing work investigating problems at the Atlanta VA Medical Center. After we reported on a Metro Atlanta veteran losing his eyesight because of a delay in care, more veterans reach out to us with concerns about the vision care that they received. Channel 2 investigative reporter Justin Gray is live in DeKalb County tonight. And Justin, they told you their vision was actually worse after receiving care at the VA.
Justin, we're talking about people who are just dealing with normal complications with vision that come with aging. But when they walked out of the doors after treatment here at the Atlanta VA, they are dealing with permanent vision loss.
This here is all the medicine that I have been using and that I was prescribed.
For Desert Storm veteran Sheila Darwin, it's her left eye that's her biggest problem.
You're like a big blur right now.
79-year-old Air Force veteran Ronald Chapman tries to avoid going to public places anymore because he can't see the people or objects around him.
Peer through the crack of a fence. That's what it's like looking through my left eye.
Both veterans say they left the Atlanta VA Medical Center with eye problems they did not have when they walked through the doors. They saw our Channel 2 Action News story last week about Dewey Kinsey, who lost vision while waiting 6 months for an eye doctor appointment. Sheila Darwin's problems started after her cataract surgery.
Something wasn't right with my left eye. It kept burning, you know, it was red all the time.
It was in 2017 when she had the surgery, but it was not until she went to the VA ER 5 years later that a doctor finally noticed a foreign object in her eye. They forgot to remove her sutures.
You took an oath to take care of your patients. How could you just leave stitches in somebody's eye for all these years? And it wasn't like after the surgery I didn't come back. I kept coming back.
Rod Chapman was back to better than 20/20 vision after his cataract surgery, but a week later, his vision started to blur. It took VA doctors 7 months to determine it was a heart drug they'd prescribed, causing him to go blind.
Had they diagnosed me within just a short period of time, is a good possibility I would have had a lot of it returned, but after so long, it's permanent.
Both these veterans have hired lawyers and filed claims against the VA, both now facing permanent vision problems. Chapman's wife led the fight for his care, but she passed away just 3 months ago.
Just a minute. I get a little tearful when I think about her, but and this process of what we go through was unnecessary.
We deserve better. We've served our country.
And the Atlanta VA, we did reach out to them, and late this afternoon, just in the past half hour, they did release a statement saying they're unable to comment on specific medical cases without written authorization, but they say they have reached out directly to these two veterans about their cases, and, quote, we are diligently working with these veterans directly to address any concerns they may continue to have. Reporting live at the Atlanta VA Medical Center in DeKalb County, Justin Gray, Channel 2 Action News.
Well, we were just discussing, Justin, that surely this extensive reporting you're doing can move the needle. It's got to get back to Washington. Thank you.
A Channel 2 Action News exclusive. A VA worker charged with helping sick veterans schedule appointments admits to taking bubble baths on the job and bragging about it on social media.
I frankly feel sorry for the other veterans.
All new at 6, local veterans telling us they're outraged by this behavior, but not that surprised.
Live, local, link-breaking. This is Channel 2 Action News at 6 p.m. Coverage you can count on.
Good evening. Welcome to Channel 2 Action News at 6. I'm Justin Farmer.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Linda Stouffer. We begin with the Channel 2 Action News Investigates exclusive. A Department of Veterans Affairs supervisor here in Atlanta caught bragging about taking bubble baths on the job. Take a look at a post from that VA worker on Instagram. He wrote, quote, "My office for the next hour." Channel 2 investigative reporter Justin Gray live in downtown Atlanta. Justin, you got this photo exclusively from other VA employees who are so concerned about this behavior.
Well, Linda, they're concerned because that man leads a team that schedules veterans' medical appointments. And we reported so many stories over the years on problems vets have had getting those appointments. His office is on the 24th floor of this downtown Federal building, but he wanted his social media followers to know last week he was enjoying working from the tub. A bubble bath on the clock. Channel 2 Action News has confirmed through 3 sources that this is a team leader in scheduling for the Atlanta VA's community care office, bragging on Instagram about, quote, my office for the next hour, the bathtub.
He was at work, but he was just in his tub.
We're concealing the identity and masking the voice of one of the Atlanta VA employees who provided us this picture. That's a VA laptop, and that's last Thursday's staff meeting, including top managers, taking place while this employee teleworked in the tub.
It's almost as if this employee is making a mockery of all of the veterans. I can sit here in my tub and relax, and you just have to wait.
Just last week in a Channel 2 Action News investigation, we introduced you to 74-year-old Dewey Kinsey, who lost his eyesight while waiting for a doctor's appointment at VA. The man in the tub leads a team that schedules those kinds of appointments.
It took over 6 months and I went blind. There are big problems at the VA.
Army veteran Kevin Cleary reached out to me in frustration after seeing Kinsey's story. Then he saw this photo.
You need all hands on deck. As a matter of fact, you need more hands on deck than you actually have on staff, let alone people working at, half capacity or whatever that might be.
VA employees must sign a telework contract to work from home. The Atlanta VA did not answer our questions on whether this employee has a telework arrangement or if this violates it, telling us in a statement only, quote, the Atlanta VA healthcare system is committed to our core values of integrity, commitment, advocacy, respect, and excellence. We are currently investigating all of the circumstances involving this incident. Upon completion of this investigation, we will take the appropriate actions.
What's the level of management going on there? Isn't that indicative of the broader problem of getting an appointment? It's because of the management that has things like that happen.
That this is not a big deal, then what is a big deal? Is it a big deal when a veteran dies?
So the VA tells us this evening it will launch an investigation here, but they would not answer our specific questions about that veteran employee's telework agreement or more generally how they monitor veteran affairs employees who are on telework. Reporting live in downtown Atlanta, Justin Great, Channel 2 Action News.
And Justin, I just know you will follow that. We have more details on past issues at the VA. In November, Channel 2 Action News investigates reported on thousands of patient records sitting on CDs. Insiders say many of those records were never uploaded to patient files. In September, we showed you piles of undelivered mail sitting at the Atlanta VA. We also broke the story last summer about phone glitches that prevented veterans from getting in touch with the Atlanta VA.